Peyton, what was working for you today, and how did you feel out there on the mound?
I felt great. My fastball and curveball was working today really good. I could throw my curveball in any situation in the count, and fastball was working good. I could throw it low, I could throw it high, or I was just locating really well today with my fastball.
Bob.
Hey, Peyton. Hey, Dave Van Horn was talking the other day about the depth on this pitching staff, and he sounds like he thinks it's pretty deep and might be a deal where you guys are playing 4 SEC games on a week and don't really know. But how do you feel about the depth of the pitching staff, and where do you feel like you fit in?
The depth of the pitching staff is definitely a huge factor this year. We have a lot of young guys that are good and throw hard. They have a lot of good stuff and locate good pitches. And I mean, as far as I stand, I love the position I was in today. Come in the fifth and sixth inning and get some quality good outs, and or closing is in my mind too.
Hutch.
How do you think this fall has gone for you, and what's your velo up to these days?
Fall's been good. I had a rough start, but I think I found my rhythm. I've been pretty calm and relaxed, and everything's been working for me. And velo's been up to 97, mainly sitting 95, 96.
Bob.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about a couple of the hitters. I assume you faced a few times. I guess Caden Wallace and Colin Smith. Maybe if you could say your thoughts on each, like on one guy and then on the other guy.
Yeah, I don't think I've faced Caden Wallace yet, but I know he's a really good hitter. He has a lot of power. He can hit the ball on any side of the plate. And then with Colin's an all-around just toolsy player. He can hit the ball. He has really good power. He can play in the field. I feel like both of them guys will play a huge role on this team this year.
Hutch.
Yeah, Peyton, I think you said that you liked the kind of role you had today, but would you like an opportunity to start, or you feel more comfortable coming out of the pen, maybe an opportunity to close some games?
I feel really comfortable closing games. I would love to get a start. I think I'd have to get my trying to find a word for it. But starting is definitely in my mind. I'd love to. I have to get the endurance for it. But closing, I love closing. So, yeah.
Bob.
Yeah, it was, Casey Opa's kind of a surprise he was back, but the draft got shortened. It was nobody's fault, just kind of the way things fell. But Dave said Casey's come back with a really good attitude. He's obviously a team leader, a veteran guy. What's your take on Casey and being back? How's he been, and what does he mean, especially to the pitching staff?
Man, it's huge to have him back. We do have two other catchers, but I feel like Opitz, he's a great guy. I'm lockers right beside him, so I talk with him every single day. Have him behind the plate. I have a lot of confidence. All the pitchers have confidence in him with pitch calling. If they can throw it in the dirt, they know he's going to block it. And same thing, if somebody gets on first, he has the ability to throw anybody out in the SEC conference. So it's definitely huge to have him back, and it's going to be good to have him in the spring.
Are you impressed with his attitude? Because some guys would be ticked off, like, oh man, I got screwed because the draft wasn't what it should have been. And Dave said he's really, really had a great attitude.
No, I think his attitude's great. Yeah, it's tough to not see such a good player go and such a good person as well. But I think he's handled it very well and come back with a great attitude, motivating everybody on the team and pushing everybody to their limits.
Hutch.
Yeah, along those same lines, Dave had mentioned that Dylan Leach had a really impressive fall. Have you been able to throw to him at all this fall, and what have been your impressions of him?
Yeah, I've thrown to him a couple of times. I feel like he's going to be really, really good. He has a really strong arm. His pitch calling's very consistent. I like how he calls the pitches, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the future.
Bob, you got one more?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Christian Franklin. I guess one, from an offensive standpoint, if you faced him, what's been your take? And two, as a pitcher, how much do you appreciate what he can do on defense in the outfield?
Having him in the outfield's huge. He can make any play that's He can run from center field to left field, catch a ball just as easy as right to him. And having him in the box, yeah, it's pretty intimidating. He's a really good hitter and has a lot of pop on the bat. So definitely excited to have him.
Hutch, last one.
Yeah, I just got one more. The pitching so far through 3 games has given up quite a bit of runs. I mean, what would you say to maybe fans who might be a little bit concerned about the pitching staff through 3 games of the Fall World Series?
Oh, sorry. Say that again.
What would you maybe say to fans that might be a little concerned about the pitching staff through 3 games of the Fall World Series?
We've had our ups and downs, but I don't have any worries. So I feel like the pitchers are going to come out on Wednesday and shove on both sides of the red and black squad. So I wouldn't have any worries.
Thanks, Peyton.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got Robert with us. Hutch.
Robert, could you describe the home run you hit today? What was the pitch you hit? What were you looking for? And how did it feel off the bat?
Our scouting report on McIntyre was he likes to live away and then work his way in to left-hand hitters. And my first at bat, that wasn't what he was doing. He started off in. So I took that into my second at bat. I scooted off the plate a little bit. And so when he worked into my barrel, I was, instead of being jammed, it caught barrel.
Hey, Robert, how you doing? Hey, I guess have you played just strictly shortstop this season? If not, what percentage? And I guess a lot. And just how does it feel being over at short?
I've played a good amount of shortstop this fall, especially because going into the fall, I was very, very comfortable at second base and a little bit of shortstop because I played there all summer ball, and my coach in summer ball, Coach Palmer and Coach Mumper, really helped me over there. So that's where I've been playing majority of the fall. I'm not too caught up to where like we'll play in the spring. We got too many good players to get caught up in that, and it's been really fun working with Bates and Battles and Kaden and Nesbitt and Colin Smith and a couple others. We've really pushed each other in practice, and I don't know what type of percentage because when we do ground balls, we move everyone a little bit everywhere. But we've gotten a lot better, all the infielders this fall.
Hutch.
On your bunt single today, I mean, was that your decision to do that? And what did you see that maybe made you go with that at that time?
Yes, it was my decision. At the time, I wanted to bunt towards the third base line, but Nesbitt was playing in, and I saw a hole open on the first base side, and especially with a left-hand pitcher falling off to the third base side, the hole was kind of there. So I just had to get it in the right place. The only part about that is if you hit it or if you bunt it too close to first base, the first baseman can come up and get it and throw to second and kind of defeats the purpose. So originally it was a sac bunt, but because it was placed, I was able to beat it out.
Bob.
Hey, having Casey back, Casey Opitz, how big is that? And, he obviously was hoping to get drafted, and the draft, was shortened and everything. What's your thoughts on having Casey back, what his attitude's been, and what he means to the team?
Leadership wise, it really gives a lift to our locker room and our play on the field. I think we really almost took for granted the leadership that Casey brings to us. And I can't imagine being here without him, because every day I've been here, he's been here. But yeah, Casey, he really brings guys under his wing, and he's always wanting to learn, and just the humbleness and no ego that goes with him. There's just a lot to learn leadership skill wise from Casey Opitz.
Hutch.
Robert, you also homered in Game 1 of this Fall World Series. How do you think the fall has gone for you, and how much do you think it'll help actually getting a fall here before the season?
Having a fall here has really helped me, especially a fall just being around the team. Coming in the spring, I kind of felt like a misfit at times just because I wasn't with the guys in the fall. So being here with them all fall, I feel like I'm really a part of the team, part of the weight program we have here. Really developed a relationship with Zeus and Coach Blaine and Corey and all of our great training staff. And just really bonding with the team. I feel like I'm really starting to fit in here. So I've really enjoyed this fall. You know, on the field wise, it's been great. You know, we're very competitive, and all of us give 110% each day we get out the field, and our coaches push us, and I can't think of a better place to be right now.
Bob?
I know you guys had some pretty high scoring games, but Dave Van Horn said the other day he really thinks there's a deep pitching staff, and you guys might end up playing 4 SEC games on a weekend. Doesn't really know yet, but what's your take on the pitching staff?
Our strength is our pitching staff. And one thing that I think is going unnoticed right now is, yes, the hitters are hot and we're not missing pitches, but we faced all of our pitchers all fall. I mean, you know, the guys I faced today, that's like my 10th, 12th at bat against some of these guys this fall. So you really start to rack up data in your mind and, you know, bring in confidence each at bat when you face these guys. It'll be a lot harder for teams in the spring to hit off our pitchers. Our pitchers are really good. Pitching and defense will be our strength. And of course, the offense will be there, but that's what we're going to pride ourselves on, is how good our pitching staff is.
Hutch, one more.
Yeah, that's the last I got. Robert, I think Dave had mentioned that he's put you at second some with battles at shortstop because he really likes that, you know, double play combo. I mean, how good could that be up the middle for y'all defensively with you at second and battles at shortstop?
I think it'd be great. I really look forward to it. I love working with Jalen. You know, we were talking, you know, a couple practices ago, and all fall, you know, all the reps we take in game practice, we don't really bobble very many balls or boot very many balls. And I was kind of noticing that. And we're just very clean and very sure. I think that's a good way to put it, very sure. And, you know, all of our throws are accurate. We field it right to left, left to target. And it's been very fun working for them. We made each other better, I can tell you that. So yeah, I think it would be a very good combination. That's a way I could describe this, as very sure.
Last one, Bob.
Yeah, well, I was wanting to ask you about your thoughts on Caden Wallace, and then your thoughts on Colin Smith.
Do you mind who I start with first, or?
Whoever, your choice.
Okay. I've known Caden for a very long time. We grew up playing together, and just watching the development from afar, from high school, and especially, you know, junior, senior year. And then now he's gotten a lot better, and it's been fun to watch. Caden shows up every day, and he's wanting to learn, wanting to get better, and he's improved in all areas this fall in his game. Especially at third base, and his fielding, his throwing, all his throws are accurate. Watching his offensive approach develop throughout the fall has just been really fun. And now, you know, he's starting to click, and it's been fun to watch because, you know, he's very powerful. And Colin, on the other hand, is like Opitz, a very good leader, a very good team guy, a very good locker room guy, very good at communicating with people and getting people on the same page. And he's been very fun to be around. You know, he was very inclusive to me coming in a semester, and I really appreciate that. And you know, he, from a baseball standpoint, provides a lot for our offense and for our defense, and he's got experience, and I think he will have an unbelievable spring.
Thanks, Robert.